one thing I'll first ask is, what really gave you the push to put in, like you mentioned, these were emotions written down, these were lived experiences written down. What really gave you the push to wanting to write a journey of change?
Thank you very much for that wonderful question. If I'll be honest with you, I've carried this book in my heart for almost over 20 years. For almost, let me say over 20 years. But I will share this briefly. I don't know who this story will encourage. Probably to those of us here or those watching us or joining us online. I was in a conference. I was attending a conference at the beginning of this year. So it was a 3-day conference. And I met the person that forwarded this book. His name is Dr. Kayode Adeagbo. I met him in that conference and we got talking. In one of those break sections, I was having a conversation with him. And I told him, oh, how did you become a bestseller author? He has written 3 books and the 3 books are best-selling author. I mean, very successful man. Even though he happens to be a dentist. And all the books he wrote were not on dental practice. And I said, how did you become a successful author? He said, let's sit down and talk. So we sat down, we were talking. And I said to him, I said, for years I've been carrying my story just in my heart. I want to share it. I want to tell the world. And he said, listen to me, my friend. That's the way he put it. He said, listen to me, my friend. We've been in this conference for the past 3 days. I've listened to your contribution all through the conference. You don't have one book inside of you. You have many books in the inside of you. And I will help you to bring those books out if you are ready to cooperate with me. I said, doctor, I'm ready. It's okay. After this conference, let's talk. So we set up a Zoom meeting and that was how we started. January, February. As a matter of fact, the first assignment I gave to him, if you can help me bring this book out, March 2025, I'll be very, very happy. What is special about March? March happens to be my 60th birthday. I'm a 60-year-old man. And I said, thank you very much. Thank you. And I said, if this book can come out on my birthday, I'll be very, very glad. He said, my friend, I will not promise you that this book will be out by March, but I will try my best. So we started. And somehow, we couldn't make it for that March. But May, the book came out. And like they said, the end is, the rest is history. We have the book today. So that is how the book came. So it has been a compilation of my journey, things that I've put in my heart for so many years that I've been waiting for the opportunity to share. And that's exactly what I put together in this book.
Thank you so much. Please, can we appreciate that? So in chapter 1 of this book, right, we saw that your mom was an influence, like a very strong influence, right? And she somehow, influenced your trading life, right? So would you say, now this happened at a very early age, as we read the book, would say that it happened at a very early age. So would you say that it is proper for parents to actually instill in their words, in their children, their kids, at a tender age, whatever kind of business they are doing? Do you think it's a proper step to take, knowing that at that point, the kids or the children's mindset might not be really open to that, or it might even be that they want to take a different path? Do you think it's something worth doing?
Thank you very much. Without patronizing you, I think you are putting a very good question to me. I know many of us here are parents. I can see from my look. Look, as a Christian, I don't know what happened in the Islamic religion, but if you go back to the Bible, the responsibility of training up a child is not given to the teacher. It's not the teacher's assignment to train your child. Please don't misquote me. I'm not saying don't send your children to school. So the primary person that have the responsibility to train a child is either the dad or the mom. Those are the two first people or persons that should influence a child. So it now depends on how much either of them carry to impact the children. But the primary assignment is for the parent to impact the children. But some children go out and did not follow the path of their parent, not because the parent don't impact them, but at least there will be some values that the parent will still instill on their children. In my own case, my mom, I don't know how to explain it. If you read this book, you will realize that I was born in the village. And sometimes when I look back today, I just realize that there are some people that irrespective of where they meet or find themselves, they are still who they are. And that's the best way to describe my mom. My mom grew up in the village. I don't think my mom have ever been throughout her life been to Lagos. I don't think so. My city is not far from. I was born and bred and raised in Ibadan, just about an hour plus from Lagos. Just to show you how local they were. But despite that, she has a unique business grace upon her life. And as far as she's concerned, she imparted us, all of us. Until today, we are still benefiting from that value that she instilled on us. Even though my dad, and I shared the story in the book as well, my dad wanted me to go different paths.
Yeah.
But my mom prevailed, to be honest, because at that initial path, my dad happened to be a farmer and a politician. My dad was a local councillor, what we call councillor today, and also a farmer, big time farmer. Most times, I will follow my dad to the farm, and my dad will say to me, I don't want you to be a farmer. I want you to go to school. So my dad wanted me to go to school just for one reason, to go to school and become a politician. That was his intention. Because he told me then, I was so small, and he used to share a lot of things with me, that a lot of people leading them are leading them not because they are wiser, just because of their educational background. That's why they are leading them. So he believed they are being cheated one way or the other. But if I can go to school, I can also become one of those that will lead in the future. But I choose a different path. So when we get to school, when we get to farm, I will give my dad any kind of excuse. Any kind. Sometimes I will tell my dad, my tummy is warm. I will just tell him any kind of lies, just to excuse me. And what would my father say? My father would say, just go and look for somewhere under the tree there and sleep. Just go and sleep. But in some cases, he will say to me, maybe you walk back to the village. And as soon as I get to the village, back home, you know what my mom will do? It's like, oh, okay, you are now idle. You don't have anything to do.
Let me engage you.
Let me engage you. That's the word. Thank you very much. And that's how the business angle comes in. And the rest is history.
All right, thank you so much for sharing. I'd like to follow up with the first time when your dad told you, oh, you're going to go to Lagos to live with your, relative. What was the first thing that came to your mind? Was it more or less like a push, or I don't want you to be a farmer, I want you to go to school and, go into politics, basically. So what was the first thing on your mind? Was it that you were going to live out your dad's dream, or you were going to live out your dream?
Initially, yes, I was going to live out my father's dream, because I One, I saw that as an escape because I really don't love farming. I don't love, I didn't, my heart was not in farming, as a matter of fact. So opportunity to, and for us then, coming to Lagos was like going abroad. So I saw it as, thank God, I'm out of this place. So the dream then was, okay, I will eventually go to school and I will become maybe what my dad wanted me to become, a politician or something. So I came out of the village with that kind of dream, to be honest.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. So outside of the book, right? For everyone who has probably come into Lagos has had one bad experience, like their very first time into Lagos. Either some persons they are mocked on the road, their bags are taken from them, or something like that, right? I know it's not in the book, right? But can you take us through the very first time you landed in Lagos? What happens to you?
I don't know why you are asking me some of these questions. You are just bringing out memories, and they are very, very good. Unfortunately, it's not in the book. Let me share one with you. I came into Lagos. We used to live in a place called Okpebi. Okpebi is at Kenya, and our church then used to be in Mushin. So on Sunday, the family drive to Mushin. And when we get to Mushin, Ladipo Street, every last Sunday is a special prayer. Like a special prayer where after the first service, we will wait for in between 1 hour just for refreshment, and then they will start that prayer. And sometimes we finish by 4-5. So some other guys that will live in the compound that were under the tutelage of these people that my guardian, I don't know how they came up with that idea that we should go to the bar beach. So from Mushi, we'll go all the way to Bar Beach in Victoria Island here. And when we go to Victoria Island, when we go to the Bar Beach, we saw some guys doing card. You know card?
Yes.
And in Yoruba, they say eyi je, eyi oje. So it's like they put 2 red and 1 black. So if you can pick the black, you make money or something. Did you know that particular Sunday, every money I had with me, they took everything. I just found out that you would think we are following them, but eventually they took all my money on the day. So when we finished and we are supposed to get back to Mushi before 4, I don't have money to even enter Molue. Then there's no, it was Molue. So the other guys just left. And I don't know how I got to Mushi. By the time I got to Mushi, service has ended. My guardian has gone back to Ikeja. So I have to find my way back home. And unfortunately for me, we had it's a big land, but the house is towards the back of the compound. So once you come into the gate, everybody in the house will see you. So I got home around maybe 7 o'clock, and punishment, calamity, everything was waiting for me. So as I opened the gate, so apart from losing all my money, my God.
You walked into the lion's den.
Seriously, you can understand. So that was my first experience in Lagos.
Okay.
I think my daughter is hearing that for the first time.
All right, thank you so much for sharing.
You.
So, like I had mentioned earlier, this book eschews a lot of emotions, right? And then let's go to the season of loss, right? We saw that from the start of the book that your parents were more or less like a moral support. They were almost everything, at the time. And then at this also certain time where you lost your dad first, right?
Yes.
And then you lost your mom.
Yes.
God rest their soul.
Thank you.
And then for some persons, there would be that, oh, my rock has gone. And so it's more or less leaving them like to square one. But something kept you.
Yes.
What was that thing that kept you?
Good. Without wasting time, let me more or less summarize it. I'm sure everybody will get the message. I lost my dad when I was 13, 14, thereabout. And 1984, I was just about 19. I lost my mom. Now, when I went back to Ibadan for my mom's burial, as at the time my mom passed, 3 of my siblings were still with my mom. my immediate brother, my next sister, and the last child. So before I left Lagos, I had a conversation about the family in Lagos, discussing how they are going to distribute us, the rest of my siblings, among the families. Because my dad had gone, my mom had gone, nobody else was in the village to look after them. So they are having an arrangement on how to share them. And I was saying to myself, that won't happen. I don't know where the thought came to me. I said that won't happen. I won't allow it to happen. So as soon as I got to the village, after the burial, I took my 3 siblings with me, the younger ones. I have another one, elderly sister. She wasn't there. She was staying with another uncle of ours in somewhere in part of Oyo State. So I took the 3 of them, brought them to the city of Ibadan. When I got there, my father's elder sister refused me to take 3 of them. She said, no, I won't take the 3 of them. I can take 2 and drop 1. So I took 2 and I brought them to Lagos. Now, why did I do that? I did that because, one, I was saying to myself, if I have to be, because when I was growing up, I always had this impression that a man should lead. A man should lead. My dad happened to be the only male child of his own siblings. The rest are sisters. So I see the attention focus on my dad. So then I knew that a lot of responsibilities on me. So I took my siblings, I brought them to Lagos, and I was looking after them. I said, if I sleep on the floor, we will all sleep on the floor. And that's exactly what happened. We were staying under the same roof, and I took that responsibility upon myself. And that's how we continue until God just helped us to find our ways one way or the other.
Thank you so much for sharing. Please round of applause for that very insight. Okay, so one thing that stood out for me in the book was when you mentioned that leading is not about wearing suits or position, right? And that it was about the little things that you were doing, waking up early, making sure that somethings are set in place, right? So these days we have a lot of leadership material, focus books on YouTube, on Amazon, and all of these things. And do you think they are well scripted enough to craft the kind of leaders that you exude or you think should be in the world? Do you think they are going to craft leaders who are passionate about leading people and not just there for the other benefits, right? Do you think they are well crafted to make leaders, worthy leaders, and not just because probably in your time you didn't have all of these things to go through, but you saw from your parents and all of those things. So do you think the way we're going this day, we have something that can actually coach people a lot?
I will say yes and I will say no. Based on my interaction with some few, I've seen some are making conscious effort to influence the generation coming. But if you look at the generality, a lot of people are just more concerned about themselves alone. And I say to people, life is not about what you have. Life is about what you give. Your level of life your life is not measured by the amount of things you have. Unfortunately, this generation believes so much in what you have. But the most important part of life is what you give. Now, what you give can be you impacting other people, mentoring other people. So if anyone have come across the kind of thing that has lifted their life, that has benefited them in the past or still benefiting them, I think the best is to look for people that are still looking up and see how you can pass the message down and say, look, you too can be where I am if you follow this step. And those are part of the reason why I put this book together. Mentoring people. I practice in the UK. I am into properties. About a little bit over 2 years ago, I started a training program. And I go from one place to another to tell people about it, help them see the opportunity that are available. Because a lot of Nigerians are in the UK, they are struggling. Seriously struggling. In fact, some cannot even come back home. If some of their relatives see them, they will wish they can come back home. Now, and I realized that that country is not as difficult as they think it is. It's just because they don't know. So what did I do? I made conscious effort to start telling people that, look, you can make money, you can make additional income, you can do this, you can do that. So 2 years ago, I went to speak somewhere, and the pastor of the church called me and he said, everything you share today, I've been practicing 20 years ago. You know, when he said that, you know the thing that came to my mind? Oh, so you know all these principles for the past 20 years. How many people have you shared this principle with? Because for me, once I know something, I want to tell somebody else. Because in my language, they say, the sky is so wide. Because I'm telling you, I don't have business secret. When people say secret, now there's nothing like business secret. It's just that people have not discovered it. Once they discover, anybody can reproduce wealth. And wealth that we think, what we consider to be wealth, is not wealth. It's when you have knowledge, you empower people, you create multiple successful people, then you are successful. So I believe so much in that, and that's what I'm doing now. I'm imparting people, and I believe all those people that we see today that are doing well, if only they can go extra mile and look for people to influence them. Don't just look about yourself alone. See how you can impart other people and pass the knowledge across and make life better for them as well.
Thank you so much for sharing. So let's go to the spirit of Lagos. We know how Lagos is, right? Take for example, it took you like almost, you left the house early, I'm sure. Setting your feet in Lagos, there were a lot of distraction, I'm sure. And some persons will come into Lagos with the mindset of wanting to make it, and then there's a slow pace, and so they look for the fast route.
Yes.
So what was that thing that kept you from taking this route that was faster? Obviously, I'm sure you saw a lot of routes that were faster, but you decided to, follow the pace, right? What was that thing that kept you on track, trying to follow the pace and not go too fast route?
If I will answer you directly, I think that will be as a result of the relationship I have with God early in life. The family that I stay with when I came to Lagos, they are believers. I've just shared my story of going to church. And the Bible says the entrance of God's word bring light. That for me, even though outside I can see things happen, I can see my mates doing well, but when I have the opportunity to be within the church compound, I hear other things from the scriptures. So in between, I have to get to a point where I have to make up my mind. No, I would rather go in the path of righteousness than to follow. Because as at the time we were growing up in Lagos, I'm not that old anyway, but when we say 35 years ago, there are different kind of ways you can do people, you can come up with stories and collect people's money and all of that. But when you also now have where you have continuous word of God that tells you integrity pays, you need to be a person of trust and all of that. When you look at it and say, look, I think I'd rather be on this path rather than be on this other path that leads to destruction. So one of the things that helped me or guided me was my faith in God.
All right, we round up this section. You've mentioned a lot of things, actually. You've stated God, you've stated hard work, you've stated mentorship, and all of these things. And what of people who actually go through all of this step by step and still do not have a breakthrough? What should they do?
Wow, fantastic. Now, let me say this. I'm sure this will bless someone. You see, the world we live on, it's not stuck. I'm not very good. I didn't go to school, so pardon my grammar. The world we live in,
it's not static.
It's not static.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's rotating. And so is life, and so is everything, whether it's what we see or whether what we believe, and everything goes wrong. Now, so many years ago, hard work is the most important thing. In fact, our parents drummed that to us: hard work, hard work, hard work. Now, that era move, and then we come to the era of smart work, and I can break each one down to different parts. For example, the hard work is you do diligent, do get knowledge, try to make sure you know what you are doing, and so on and so forth. And then we move into the era of smart, which is technology, leveraging on technology. Now, you know what is the main one now? Is network. So if you do all that you have done and you still don't know how to leverage your networking, you might be missing. Some people say, oh, I don't want other people to know what I'm doing. You are denying yourself some kind of breakthrough. I came all the way to come and collaborate with Laterna Venture. That is networking.
Yeah.
Who knows what will happen from here?
True.
A lady is here. She's my kind of a legal person in Nigeria. I'm networking with her. Whatever I need, I don't need to bother myself about some things. All I need to give her a call. If she sort out my legal issues, that's networking. The other day we were meant to take a document from EFCC. I just put her in front of me. I walked behind her. We went out. We come in. Networking. Life is easy. So that is the other part people now need to learn. You now need to collaborate. So if you have done all of that, then obviously maybe that's where I should have started from. The God factor is one factor that will always encourage people. Make sure that whatever you are doing, the God factor is very strong. And if you can do all of that, success is guaranteed. It might take time though, but success is guaranteed.
Thank you so much. So please, we're prepared to take questions from the audience, but I'll take this last question.
Oh,
sorry, do you need water?
I think so. My water is there. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Okay, so there was a part that got me smiling in this book.
Wow.
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Yes, I will do. Let me just do. So, Mr Kayode, there's a sister that just joined the church and she wants to join your department. So next week when you're having your departmental meeting,
you read this book. You read this book, and I'm happy you did. Fantastic.
You would, and then she walked in. You were not moved by maybe what she was wearing or any other thing, and she sat down, the meeting went on, and conversation ensued from one thing to the other, and then you finally proposed, right? And you said that you did not present riches.
No.
You didn't present wealth. No. But she went on to accept. Did you have any fear? Because looking at the world now, some ladies would say, oh, if the man doesn't have all of these things, I'm not going to marry. Yeah. Did you have any fear going to take that bold step, knowing that you didn't have all of these things that probably some ladies have made it to look like a norm, before marriage?
If I tell you I did not have any fear, I'll be lying. But I think the word that overcome that fear is the courage that I had. And my belief that whatever I want, according to God's will come to me. And I was smiling when you were talking because you are just describing how I met my wife, which I share in the book. And luckily for me, she's here. My wife is here. You might not even recognize her because she's as young as her own daughter. she came in to join the ministry that we were then. And not even my relationship with everybody, anyone that comes in contact with me first, I always let them know who I am. And it has worked for me so many times. It has worked for me so many times that now I wonder why do people love pretending? Because I am not a pretender and I'm getting results. When I meet you, I tell you who I am straight away. And I realize that people love it for saying the truth. So why are people pretending then? So when I met my wife, I used to carry one bag. It's a black bag. So I said to her, I said, in this bag, I have one black trouser and one brown trouser. My toothpaste, my brush, and few other items. And I said to her, this is all I have. But beyond this, I have God, I know where I'm going, and I believe I'm a responsible man. I will look after you. If you accept, we will all enjoy life together. I said some of those things to her, and to the glory of God, I'm sure she's also a seer. So she saw and she accepted, and today we are blessed. We've been married now for 27 years.
Thank you for sharing. We'd like you to drop a word of advice for two set of persons, parents and youths, based on your journey of change.
Parent, here, please be the one to first influence your children first. Not telling them what to do, but guide them. And you know what that now give? That now put a lot of responsibility on parent or parent to be. You know why? You can never give what you don't have. So that means if you want to influence people, you too must be influenced first.
Yeah.
So if you want to impart knowledge, you must have the knowledge to impart people. So you must be a researcher, you must be a learner, you must be a student of books, you must read books. At the initial part of a stage of my life, I was reading books that will work on my mind. Don't forget I said I came from the village. So I dwelled more on the one that will reorientate my thinking. Because poverty is a bad thing. You can be so poor that you will think that is your identity. Whereas poverty is nobody's identity.
True.
So the parents should ensure that you pass message across and influence your children. Tell them the right path. Don't be afraid to train them. Forget about this, whatever they call, is it Gen Z or whatever. If they tell you they know, tell them, yes, you know they know, but they should also listen to you. Impart them. Then for the youth, like I've shared before, make sure you know where you are going, know what you want, and be ready to give it every kind of sacrifice that it requires for that to happen. I say this a lot, and I will say it again. I'm a child of a farmer. Before any farmer harvests, there is a time for sowing. If you don't put anything on the ground, there is nothing for you to harvest. So don't be looking at harvest. Try and sow first, and then the harvest is guaranteed. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please round of applause for Papa K and Sister K. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.